the $20 super chat.
Boom.
Appreciate you, Nate. He said, Booker, what's the worst shoot fight you ever saw in wrestling, either in the ring or backstage? Now, in my time as being a wrestling fan, you've heard about some of these, whether it be the Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar shoot fight. I think you and Eddie may have shot. Is that right? You and Eddie may have had something back in the day.
No, we didn't actually get into fisticuffs or hands on or anything like that.
I remember hearing a story from Chris Jericho where him and Goldberg got into it.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a story from Chris Jericho where Kofi Kingston and Vince McMahon got into it on the corporate jet. There's a lot of stories out there, but what is one that comes to your mind?
Man, shoot fight in the business. Man, I was there, for like some of the Brock Lesnar stuff.
So he and Angle really wanted to try each other.
Well, one of the best ones, I think, there's I don't know if anybody ever told it, but Kurt Angle and Daniel Puder.
Oh no,
that was one that was actually pretty good. And a lot of people don't talk about it too much, just out of respect. Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist. You don't want to talk about that. But Daniel Puder was pretty good that day. But I think Ernest the Cat Miller and Buff Bagwell. I think that was a good one right there.
Ernest and Buff.
Yeah, Ernest.
What happened? What was that about?
I think I think Cat Miller was actually dating, not dating, but hanging out with his ex-wife. And Bagwell was pretty hot about it. We was we were in Sturgis, South Dakota.
Oh,
I never forget it. And because we were outside at this table. Everything was outside at Sturgis. It was nothing, inside because it was outside show and whatnot. And we had the catering set up outside, and I remember Cat Miller had sit down, and then Buff Bagwell, was going to try to sneak shot him. And he came over to sneak shot Ernest the Cat Miller. And Ernest the Cat Miller, people don't know, man, this dude's real, like the real deal.
Legit,
like Black Belt Jones, something like that. And he moved so quick on Bagwell and blocked it and was on him so fast. Bagwell couldn't wait for somebody to break it up. It was one of those type of deals. Or, no, this is the best one right here. The best one, I think, was Diamond Dallas Page and Buff Bagwell was trying to create an angle, and they was acting like they were like going to fight in catering. And both of them started, like jaw-jacking back and forth real hard, and then they start fighting each other, but it was like a work shoot, and nobody broke it up. They finally stopped and realized they just ribbed themselves. I think that was the best one out of them all. Yeah.
That had to have been Dallas's idea.
You got to tell you that story right there.
We got to have Dallas on to hear this. It's got to be his idea. That was definitely a Dallas Page idea.
Oh, man.
You talk about Brock, and I definitely always heard the stories of him and Angle trying to figure out which was the better, amateur wrestler. But one of those Brock stories that I heard was that Brock, Brock, and this was out there. I think Bruce told this story, so if you want any heat, throw it on Bruce. But I think it was Brock and Mark Mero. Right, we're gonna go at it because of what happened. With between Mero's ex-wife is now Brock Lesnar's current wife, Sable. Right, but I guess Mark Mero had heard Sable's now dating somebody else's one of the boys, so he shows up to the building in whatever town that I guess they were close to. He shows up at the building and he's like, "Look, I'm gonna find this guy and I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind and let him know what time it is. I'm Mark Mero, Golden Glove boxer." You know what I mean? I'm not going to be playing around. So he gets to the building. He's like, "Hey, where's this Brock guy?" And they're like, "Oh, I think I saw him in catering." Mark Mero goes, "I go down to catering to find him. I go in. I say, 'Hey, where's this Brock guy?' Somebody points him out to me. And he goes, it was in that moment that I learned the power of forgiveness." I don't want any parts of that.
You can have it, bro.
All you. Hey, respect, respect, respect.
We're not going down that road. Oh man, it's
So
crazy.
there's, yeah, I'd like to know more. I mean, people in the chat are talking about some of them. What the Daniel Puder thing? To go back to him, what was up with that time in the Rumble where everybody was? I mean, do you remember this? Were you? I think you were there at the
I think
time.
they were just baptizing him. You know
That
what
was
I
a
mean? I
that's
think you
baptism
know
by
he was,
fire.
yeah. I think he was getting the rookie treatment. You
Mm.
know, I don't think I was one of those guys that you know.
No, no, it was like Eddie, Benoit, and Holly.
Yeah. I think he was just getting baptized, you know, and just showing that, you know, the business go a certain way. And the thing is, Daniel Puder, he came from the reality TV world.
It was
You know,
tough enough, right?
yeah. He wasn't like a guy who, you know, came up wanting to do this or anything like that. And that happens with a lot of the, guys that, come from one reality show to another reality show and then boom, happen to make it on one of the reality shows, which is professional wrestling. And then you get in and you realize, the $100,000 contract was a gimmick.
You mean
Wait a minute.
$100,000 over
But,
10
this
years?
is wrestling. We just said that. It's like fake news.
You don't really weigh 256 pounds either.
They just don't know. And then they get in, and then they realize, wait a minute, that's something I, bought in for. Types one of those type of deals. I could be wrong.
I won't say who it is, but it was right when I first started reality wrestling. I went up to one of the guys because I'd go up when I was doing the ring announcing. I'd ask them their name, hometown, what their weight was. Right. I remember going up to one of the guys, and he had a frame a little bit similar to mine. He maybe had a little bit more musculature. And I said, how much, what's your weight? And he goes, 273. And I said, 273 pounds. He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, that doesn't seem accurate to me. Doesn't seem accurate to me at all.
Oh my God.
273. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay. So this is wrestling. I get it now. So that's Daniel Puder had to realize that $100,000 contract, it was just on the marquee.
It might have been $1 million contract.
You know what? I think you're right. I think it was $1 million.
I think it was $1 million contract.
I think you're right.
I think he got there and realized, wait a minute, what happened to the $1 million? You know what I mean? That's not what you guys, like that's the wrestling business, man. That's the wrestling business. You got to figure this thing out. It's almost like OJT, on the job training.